What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning. So come by and say hello. All right, liquidity pools, liquidity pools, liquidity pools. It's all anyone can talk about. At least it's all I can talk about right now. I wanted to share something that I did share on the live stream earlier today, but I know many folks don't rewatch the replay and many folks miss it here. So I thought I would share it. If you've already seen it, feel free to skip the video. And that is one of the reasons why I like the SPS Swap.Hive pool. Now, again, I'm going to get into this. None of this is financial advice. I'm not telling you to go do this, but one thing I want to share with you, one statistic that is not apparent and some of the benefits that I think SPS and Swap.Hive have, because ETH and BNB get a lot of love because they had such high APRs. Now, those have started to come down to something I think a little bit more manageable, and that makes sense. But SPS and Swap.Hive have something that I believe actually has quite a bit of utility to it and long-term value, considering that we are going to be getting LP rewards for the next 5.5 years, 65 months, I think is how long they go for. So that being said, you take a look at something like SPS and Swap.Hive. First benefit is that it is already on the Hive blockchain. So you don't have to send capital anywhere else. If you have the capital in game already, you don't need it to leave or transfer to another blockchain. And sure, I guess if you had it outside the game, then you just have to get it into the game at this point, at which point you could go over to Tribal Dex and throw it in there. Now, what's nice about this is that because it's on the Hive blockchain, you are able to make transactions without fees, right? You use your resource credits, but you don't have to transfer anything into or out of the game. So there's no withdrawal that you need to do. You can keep everything within game. When you come here and you claim it in game, and then you can send and compound your earnings over time very, very quickly. And I want to show you what this adds up to. So I got my little APY calculator here because there's a difference between APR and APY. Your APR is your annual percentage rate, and your APY is your annual percentage yield. So APR, just for a quick breakdown, APR is what this pays you on a daily basis based on the entire year. So if you wanted to find out how much you could earn on a single day, for example, you would do 141% divided by 365, multiply that by the principal that you have in, and that's how much you should technically earn tomorrow, right? You should be very close, or it should be very close to how much you should earn tomorrow from an APR standpoint, from an earning standpoint, ROI standpoint is what I meant. Too many acronyms. APY, on the other hand, includes the ability to compound. And when you compound, you can do that at different intervals, right? You can do that at a yearly level, you can do that at a monthly level, weekly level, or a daily level. And this is where it gets interesting, because with SPS Hive or Swap.Hive, you can do this without having any fees. You earn a little bit, and then you can go in and, similar to how you stake your SPS, you claim your SPS staking rewards, and then you restake those for compounding. If you were to do this every day, it could actually be very beneficial in the long run. So we take this 141.33, I'm just going to simplify it to 141, and you're going to see that if you compound on a daily level, your APY is over 300%. Kind of nuts, right? You could get a 3x return over time. I mean, again, so much changes within a year. So just take this all with a grain of salt. And, this video is just a snapshot in time right now. But it does have an appeal because of the fact that you can come in and for zero fees and very little time, come in, claim your rewards once a day, and put it into the liquidity pool further, right? You take the SPS, split it between SPS and Hive, and then add it to the liquidity pool, and all of a sudden you are compounding and earning way, way more. Let's say you're not obsessed with the game like I am, and you only want to come in once a week. Sure. Check that out. Your APY is still above 300%. It's 302. So yeah, maybe you don't need to be obsessed with this game because the extra is only like an additional 6%. But hopefully you can get where I'm coming from here, where now this 141% APR actually turns into a 300+% APY, and that I believe is really, really valuable. Now, the last thing that I'll say, and this is a little bit of a smaller deal here, but if you go to the SPS and Hive uh, Swap.Hive, there are additional LP rewards. Now, let's see this. You got a B, which is probably the biggest one, the only thing that's significant here. You get 233 B, which is currently valued at $62, $62.15. This is a daily reward for all the people that have liquidity. So let's just calculate something real quick. I wasn't planning to do this live, but we can go ahead and do it. So there's about $910,046, and we saw about $62, right? $62 in B rewards given out every day. So 62 over 910,046 times 365. And all of a sudden, you're actually making an additional 2.4%, we'll just call it 2.5% yield in B token that you're getting. Now, this again is a benefit of doing it on the Hive blockchain and in tribal decks because of the fact that when you do it on, or when you use these SPS BNB or SPS wrapped ETH pools, you do not stake it for additional yield, right? Like PancakeSwap, for example, has an SPS BNB pool that pays out 20%, 20+%. But if you go into that pool, if you stake it into that pool, you void your ability to get SPS rewards from the game directly. So you have to choose one or the other. Whereas with tribal decks and staying on the Hive blockchain, you kind of get to double dip, which is nice, right? Now, I don't know how long these LP rewards will go for. They've been around for a while, so I don't think they're going anywhere. And again, it's not much, right? It's like 2.5%, but 2.5% on top of that, you know, we're looking at somewhat similar APYs over here, or APRs, I should say, not APYs. And so, you know, it's a reason to not sleep on SPS and Swap.Hive. Now, that being said, let's talk very quickly about impermanent loss. Impermanent loss is very important to note because it's so dependent on the tokens that you want to have exposure to and depending on where you believe those tokens will go in the future. Now, SPS BNB, I think that's a pretty good one. SPS and ETH, I like holding those tokens as well. SPS and Hive, well, it depends. Do you like Hive? Do you think that Hive is well correlated with SPS? Do you think that if one goes up, the other one will go up as well? We've seen that to a certain extent, but again, past performance is no guarantee of future results. So that's something that you need to determine. But I will say that SPS, or Splinterlands, I should say, being one of the biggest applications, maybe the biggest application on the Hive blockchain, I do think that there is a lot of synergy between them, and one could carry the other up. We saw a Hive pump just last week, and when it pumped, it took the rest of the market with it. Now, the rest of the Hive engine market, I should say. So that for sure is due to a certain extent, is due to the fact that, you know, Hive engine is somewhat of a closed network. So on this exchange, we see inflated prices, but we didn't necessarily see that on Binance or on Ethereum, right? For if you were to buy SPS or DEC there, you didn't see that jump in price. But again, it's one of those things where, do you believe that they're correlated? We've seen instances of it in the past, so it would lead me to believe that there could be instances of it in the future, but again, none of that is guaranteed. So those are some of the benefits of the SPS and Swap.Hive pool. I just wanted to throw it out there because I did allocate some of my liquidity to there today, and I probably will, even though I'm getting like, you know, not many rewards, just about 2 SPS or so. I will probably just continue to keep compounding it unless I want to take that SPS and then stake it directly. So I haven't decided yet. But if I wanted to, I kind of like the 300% APY because staking SPS is only giving me roughly 30%, including vouchers. So, you know, it is what it is. And this ultimately comes down to everybody's individual situation and decision making. You need to take responsibility for what you want to do with your money, right? But just trying to give you some different perspectives here. Again, I'm not saying that this is the best one, and this is the least amount that I have. You can see my share is the lowest compared to the other two here with SPS BNB and SPS ETH. But I did realize, or at least it made me realize calculating the APY, that there was some value here because calculating the APY for SPS BNB, there's additional steps. I would have to take it out and then I would have to pay gas fees on BNB, which aren't as much. You know, it's actually not that bad if I wanted to do it that way. But, you know, Ethereum is one where I would probably consider the gas fees and be like, maybe not, right? So just a thought for you guys, since you don't have to pay any fees here, that compounding becomes much easier. And if you do this on the daily or even weekly basis, as you saw, you can get 300% APY, not APR, but APY. All right, guys, that is all I have for you in this video. Have an amazing rest of your day. I will catch you all in the next one, and I will see you around the game. Take care.